All righty, ladies. We are live. And I'll put this up first. All right. We will wait on some people to join us, but good morning, everyone. We are sharing right now, so come on in. Take a seat on your comfy couch or your chair. Maybe you're driving in the car. And we're going to get started here in a second. Oh, I can't tag anybody. Womp womp. Okay.
All right.
Are you guys good? All right. We have
Are
six
we
people
ready?
on.
We got some people in?
Yeah, we got about 6 people on right now.
Okay. So we ready to chat? We ready to chat right now?
Ready to chat.
All
As you
right.
guys come in, can you say hello so we know who's watching? We want to talk to you guys
Say
too.
hi,
We're not going to
6
just
people.
talk to each other. Yep, we got about 10 people on.
Got 10 people
Say
on.
something to me, guys.
Say hello. Say hello.
I'm going to test it out just to see.
Maybe they're still getting their coffee.
Yeah, maybe.
I get it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing that it's 4 comments, but they're not showing up.
Yeah, I don't see any either.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, they're both public. That's really weird. I don't know. Well, hello, guys. I see you guys saying good morning. Hi, Tammy. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Aunt Patrice. Hey, Rachel. No, you don't have to join the Zoom link. You can stay right here. We're on a link, but you guys don't have to be. So you can watch right from this screen and you are good. Now I'm trying to figure out why my comments.
So you did see that comment? You saw it?
I can see them on Facebook, but they're not showing up on here, which means
I can't see them on Facebook either.
Yeah, they're on Facebook. And I have a child walking through.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Did you close the gate? Okay. Sorry.
I really want to be able to see the comments so that I can throw them out.
Do you have another device you can look from?
I have my phone here, but I'm not seeing the comments. Maybe I'm just delayed.
They're commenting on my page so far.
Let me see.
I'm sorry. I'm live on my page and Laurel Life.
Okay. So I'll just go to your page so that I can, and yes, there we go.
Yeah. So hi, guys. Before we start, Amanda and Dewan, did you guys share from my personal page or from Laurel Life?
Laurel Life.
Okay. Can one of you guys keep Laurel Life up and look at those comments? Because since they're not being streamlined here, I'm missing them.
What do you need?
We'll just kind of watch from both.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I'll switch back and forth too.
Okay. But we're ready.
Everybody ready? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. I see Pastor Dolores is on, Lynette Johnson, Lisa Scott, Elder Patrice, Rachel. Good morning. How are you today? I am super excited. My name is Rhonda Truefire, and I get the privilege of hosting this amazing MomGul chat conversation between some mogul moms about what they do and how they do it and how they just make it look good, even though life as a mom is not perfect. So we are going to be talking to you about their routines, how they do what they do, and we're just going to learn a little bit, talk a little mom talk, and it's a privilege to do that this month because it is Women's History Month. And so we decided to bring in some everyday heroes to talk about their life as mothers and entrepreneurs. So grab your coffee, grab your tea. I've got my mommy mug. Mommy needs more coffee. Everybody is ready to go. And we are going to be chatting with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them out there and we will address them. So let's first talk about who we have on our illustrious panel here. Of course, we have Anitra, the MomGul. Everybody knows she's got her bakery business going, everything Laurel Life, the Laurel Treats. She works with her husband with Crown King. She's got 3 adorable children, and she is also the administrator of Overflow Ministry. So just all kinds of stuff going on, and she's still got her makeup looking good and her hair is fly. So we're going to try to figure out how she's doing all that and still being cute.
Right, I need tips too.
I need tips. So, and then we have Amber Novak. She is a wife, mom of 3, and she's also a graduate of Valley State University. She's a full-time physician's assistant. And one thing that I find so interesting about Amanda's story, and I can't wait to get into it a little bit more, is that in addition to all of that and then having another small business on the side, she also homesteads bees, chickens, and goats. And she still looks cute too. So, we need to know the secrets. And then, of course, we have DeWine Carpenter, better known as the Twin Doctor. She is a dually board certified physician. She's a wife. She's a mother of 4, including her 2 adorable twin daughters, hence the name, the Twin Doctor. And what I loved about your bio, DeWine, is that you said that you are a recovering perfectionist, breaking free from the perfect mom facade. And so I think there has been a lot of, with social media and just everything that we have going on, we try to make everything that we do look picture perfect. And so the moms that are at home with the babies crying and doing all of the different things, we can look like we're failing, but really we're all going through something as we go through being mothers, being wives, and then also being working moms at that. So welcome, ladies. And I am so excited to chat with you today. All right.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, and this chat is not my chat. I am just here hosting because it is brought to you by Anitra the MomGul and the Laurel Life. And so I'm so excited to be added to this conversation. So thank you so much, Anitra, for having us today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you want to talk a little bit about the Laurel Life before we get started? Because I have lots of great questions.
Okay, and you guys should be able to see the comments now. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you, Amanda, DeWine, and Rhonda. Rhonda is our host / moderator today, and the Laurel Life is actually my blog site, but it was inspired by Rhonda. So I am that person. I'm more of a Facebooker than an Instagrammer. And, everyone says most of, I guess, the younger generation goes for Instagram because they like, pictures and things that's quick. Versus me, I like reading like long posts and reading words and things like that. So that's why I'm a Facebooker. Well, on Facebook, I would write like a whole monologue. And Rhonda's like, you really need to be blogging. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Can I do that? That's too much. I don't know.
Like you're doing it.
Oh, you're already doing it now. Just put it on a different platform. And so I was like, okay, I'll try it. So hence the Laurel Life came about. And I'm new to the blogging. I'm still learning things, taking it as I go. I've been on a little break after a, really big death in our family. So it's kind of, I'm trying to build my momentum back up and get back into it. But the Laurel Life is literally just a blog about me as a wife, a mom, and an entrepreneur. And I haven't been able to touch on everything that I want to touch on, but I've done a couple of blogs with the kids, with us going to the farm or picking out a Christmas tree. I've done quick recipes. I've done a quick makeup trick thing. So I plan to do more things like organizational things because I love that. with my kids' rooms, my house, everything. Um, so that's kind of what the blog encompasses. It talks about me as a wife as well, some things with my husband, and just all these kind of different things. So I'm really excited. I'm trying to get further into it. I'm trying to vlog and capture things on video too, so it's not just in words, because I know how some people, they like to see versus read. So I'm learning it as I go, but I'm excited about it. I really love it. And even this is an extension of that, because I know a lot of moms need that help and that support, and they want to know that somebody else is doing what I'm doing. Someone else is struggling like I'm struggling. Every day we don't look like this, you know. Every day we don't look like Amanda and Dewan and Rhonda. Some days we just don't pull it together, and it's okay. Some days I probably have a kid on this shoulder and one on my lap and one in between my legs, you know, and that's how the day goes by. It's what happens. But as moms, we have so much strength that we don't even realize, but that's how God made us. And so just wanted to get on here and share it with you guys. That's all. We're not here to say we know it all, we've mastered it. Nope. We're just talking about how we juggle our equation, pretty much. It's like, these are my things that make up my equation. Amanda has her own, Dewan has her own, Rhonda has her own. So that's all. That's a little bit about me and the Laurel life. And thank you guys again for joining us this morning. And I have my sippy cup, guys. I can't have coffee.
Super cute. Super cute. So, one of the things that I love about Anitra is that she does a lot of different things well, and which is why I was like, you need to just pull all of that together so that people can see in one place all of the things that you do. And so, but she's not necessarily unique in that a lot of us have a lot of things going on. We're cooks and we're having our 9 to 5 jobs that we work, and then we have our businesses on the side and our kids and their practices and this and that and the other. So we all are in that space in a sense, where we are trying to navigate through multiple things at one time. And so I guess the question that I have for everyone on the panel, and we can just kind of go in line, is what is your mogul mom routine? With all of the things, the businesses, the this, the that, and the other, and being a whole woman, which I think sometimes can get lost in all that. What is your mogul mom routine? How are you making it work or attempting to make it work? I love to
I was gonna
start with
say, can I
Amanda.
volunteer Amanda to go first?
Yeah, I was
Because
gonna.
I want to know how she has to get up and tend to the animals first before her
Right?
children and husband. So I want to know.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's truly an honor to be on and to be asked to be here and to be here with you, other amazing moms. And I just love what you guys have already said, because yes, like we all do this differently. We have to get rid of being a perfectionist when it comes to these things. And
Yeah.
I have my pen and paper here because I'm going to take notes on what you guys have to share as well. So yes, my name is Amanda. I am a full-time physician assistant, and I've been a physician assistant for the last 10 years. I work in an outpatient office right now. Previous to this, I worked in the emergency department. So I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I have a side business, and then yes, I have the homestead. So man, my routine daily looks very different, right? And sometimes it is survival mode, like you said. But every day looks a little bit differently. But in order to survive in all of this craziness and to keep your head above the water, I do have some things that that I stick to. And one of those things is getting up early. That I have to get up early, because you can either let the day control you or you can control the day. And I have enough things to get done in my day that if I don't start off controlling my day, it will control me. I mean, it will control me. I will be overwhelmed all day. And once we get into the cycle of overwhelm, we kind of shut down and don't get anything done, right? So I have to get up early. It's hard to get up early. Sometimes I'm also up very late. But if you are a bit consistent in when you go to bed and going to bed early, then that becomes a little bit easier. So getting up early. And then another thing that that helps me is to set my 3 things that I need to do for the day. And so these are my 3 things that I need to do today. And what are my non-negotiables that go around with that. So most days I get up. I actually don't do the animals in the morning because especially right now, it's dark, but when I leave for work. So it's not, and I don't have a barn. My animals are mostly outside in their individual housing structures. So it's not a good option right now. In the summer that, maybe that would shift a little bit, but so I get up early. I usually, I try to drink water first thing in the morning to get myself started because you're kind of dehydrated after not drinking all night. I have my coffee, absolutely. And then I have a time where I work my business. And so I'm doing follow-ups. I'm reaching out to people. I'm accomplishing my goals for the day. And other things that I like to try to do is to have some time of devotion, some time of meditation. That's kind of what I like to do first thing in the morning. And then I will get ready for work. I will go to work. I work all day. I do have a lunch break in the middle of the day, but I'm driving anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to get to my office. So it is a long drive, and that's tough when there's a lot to manage to take that time to drive. But I try to utilize that time in doing personal development. I will listen to like an Audible usually on the way to work so that I feel like I'm doing something during that time. I'll work all day. As soon as I come home from work, then I take care of the animals. So before I even go in the house, I take care of the animals. So I will go get home. I will give hay to the goats, make sure everyone has water, make sure that the chickens have food, the cat and the dog have food, and then I will come inside. If I don't do it right when I get home, or if I don't do these things in the morning, right, then you're just so flustered all day. Now, my husband has been working from home since COVID, and so that's actually been really good. So usually he's actually the one cooking dinner. And so when I come home, he started cooking dinner. And then we try to eat dinner shortly after we come home. Family is very important to me, and that's kind of one of my non-negotiables. And so we try every night to make sure that we have family dinner together. And so we have our dinner together, and then we have a little bit of free time where we can, play some games as a family, spend time together. And then when the kids go to bed, that's my time to spend time with my husband and have a little bit of time with him. And then once he goes to bed, do a little bit of my business after he goes to bed. So that's kind of what a normal day looks like. And some days
what time do you get up?
Survival. I try to get up at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh.
6:30.
Yeah.
I mean, the next question is, what time do you go to bed?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I try to go to bed at 10. That's my ideal time. There are definitely days that that it's a little bit later than that, but then the next morning is harder as well. So, but there are just some days that's what it takes, right? If you are going to be successful in doing all of these things, sometimes there are sacrifices that you have to make. Sleep is important, and so that's something that I have to remember, but sleep is not one of my non-negotiables because I have big goals and big dreams. And so yeah, sometimes that sacrifices a little.
Okay. Zawan, what about you? What does your MomGul routine look like?
Oh, goodness. So yeah, I am a full-time rehab physician. I'm working in the hospital. So my routine is not always set, which I would prefer it to be, but it's not because I take call. And so all of that, has to shift. Also with 4 kids. So I've got the whole age range, 13, 9, and almost 3. Actually, next week there'll be 3 twins. Routine is like just a nice word to say.
That's the polite thing to
Agreed.
say.
Right. I
Agreed.
have my planned routine and then it goes out the window.
Yeah.
So actually, like Amanda, I have had to adopt becoming an early rising person. Anybody that like knows me knows I love sleep. I have always loved to sleep. I could sleep through anything. In college, my family knew, do not call me before 10 o'clock on the weekend. Don't do it. And now I've had to shift that. So I most of the time make a point to get up. I try to get up before the girls because they get up early. So I usually try to get up before them and kind of do my own thing. I wake up, I do my devotional, I read my scriptures, I try to throw in some meditation if I'm feeling really good that morning, get my workout in before they wake up. And then I can like do my shower and kind of like get myself ready. I was also working on, carving out at least 25 minutes to do some business work before the day started, because a lot of times you get sucked into the day and you put that on the back burner and then that time never comes. So working on that, and then once kind of everybody is up, we do breakfast and getting the kids ready, clothes and hair and all that kind of stuff, and out the door. And then usually the afternoon, kind of after work, always depends on what's going on. So my husband is in school also, so we're balancing that. When he has class, sometimes we'll try to work out together. We have a personal trainer that we'll work out with sometimes. The kids' activities and things like that. So I try to schedule as much things as I possibly can, just so that, again, I'm not leaving out that time. And one of the things that I actually have been working on, particularly with other twin moms, I started Twin Mom Chronicles, where one of the things that I realized in twin moms, but also just us as moms, we take our time and we put it at the end. And by our time, I mean, not working on the business, not taking care of somebody, not ironing clothes, our time to do whatever, read a book, take a bath, sit and do nothing. I've really tried to kind of carve out that time as well in my day as much as possible, so that I don't feel that I'm basically doing everything for everybody else and kind of leaving myself out.
Yeah. Anitra?
That's good.
Anitra, what about you?
Well, things have changed since COVID. Probably before COVID, I was probably getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. That's about it. So COVID has been a godsend. COVID was amazing. 2020 was amazing. I know a lot of people hated it, but I loved it. It was a reset for my life for a lot of things. But now with the routine, Jace did go back to school in August, and he's been in school. He's at a Christian school, and they didn't have the necessarily finances to do both, to give us the option. So he had to go back to school. So I typically get up about 6:30 to get myself just decent to get him up and ready for school. So because I don't have to go into the office or anything, I fell into this routine of, oh, I don't wear makeup, and I love it now. Like never a day you would catch me before COVID without makeup on. I mean, it would be very rare because it had become a part of my routine. That's what I did before children. And then when children came, I just tried to learn how to keep it going. But COVID, I felt a freedom like, whoo, this is nice. Get up and get out. So now I just get up about 6:30, do what I need to do to get Jace ready, make sure everything is in his backpack. So I normally wake him up about 7:15 because he only needs like 15 minutes to get ready. He takes his bath and stuff at night. So that's typically what happens in the morning. I drop him off at school. The girls are normally still asleep. So when I come back home, I am either cooking them breakfast. I go for a walk now that it's getting warmer. Or sometimes I picked up a book for a book club at church. So those mornings I was either reading or doing one of my devotions or something like that. I typically take the time all the way to school to kind of do my worship. Jace is on his phone. So I kind of do that in the morning. So when I'm coming back home, I'm normally getting ready for the day with the girls. So I have them here at home. So we're doing some type of activity, something with learning. And then in between that, if I don't have baking to do for Laurel Treats, I am doing something with our other business, Crown King. So whether it's emails, email blast or whatever, responding to emails, or I'm taking the time to write a blog. So I kind of juggle between Crown King, Laurel Treats, and the Laurel Life, and then them. So that's kind of like how my morning is. Every day is different. It depends on if we have an appointment. And it's crazy because with the business now that the world is back open, people are having weddings. We have been having appointments every week for the business. Mm-hmm. And with our appointments, anybody that knows my husband knows he's a talker. So he normally talks to our clients and gives them a little nugget at the end. Well, he's been doing that with every client. And we have gained people that we are counseling now. So we have 3 couples as of right now that we're counseling too. So we've been doing that in the evenings. So it's kind of like all over the place with my day, but I like being able to work from home. I like to be able to do what I need to do for work, which is for the church, and then do the things that I need to do for my business. I have time with my kids. I have time with my husband. I've been able to get a healthier eating habit here going into week 4. So I've been doing that, trying to pick up routines, because oftentimes when you're small, you think, oh, you don't have to do all that stuff, but I shouldn't be tired from walking up the steps. So something's wrong. Even though I'm small, that means I'm not in shape. That means I haven't built up my stamina, so I'm trying to work on those things, doing things for me, because before quarantine, there was no time for me, honestly. Yeah. There wasn't any time. It was work, come home, dinner, homework. And then it's like you wait till everybody goes to bed, and then that's when we have our time, and like from midnight to whatever, Yeah. So that's why I was getting like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, because it just wasn't any time. So that's kind of my day in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's different every day, but yeah.
Listening to you guys, I hear I can relate to a lot of the things that you're saying, because I have a daughter and I have work and I'm a writer, and then I'm trying to do this and that and help other people and ministry stuff and all of that. So it just seems like a common theme that I see these days is that being a mother is just overwhelming. It's very rare that I hear somebody saying, oh, well, I just do one thing. We're all trying to work. We're trying to mother properly. If we're married, we're trying to do that. And of course, those are things that we should be doing and we have to do. But then there's side businesses, and I'm selling this and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to become this other thing while I'm doing 1,500,000 different things at the same time. And so one of the questions that I began to ask myself, and it's a question that I would like to ask all of you, is that what is your measuring stick? Because my mother worked. She came home, not saying that she didn't have responsibilities around the house, but she didn't have all of these overwhelming aspirations to do all of these things at the same time. So what is the measuring rod that we use to determine what success is? Does it have to look like I'm able to manage 15,000 things at once? Like, where do you personally get your idea about what success is and how you set your goals up to meet them? Anybody can start.
That's a good question. I'll take it first. So for me, I think success really changes depending on the stage of life I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
When I was preparing, in medical school, success for me was I graduated, and I got into a training program. After that, it was okay. I've gotten through my training program. My family is still intact, at least mostly. And that was what I kind of used as success. But I think maybe it's the maturity, maybe it's me getting older. I have a milestone birthday this year. But now I really, for me, feel like success is really being able to carve out the life that I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And just like everybody else has already said, family is super important to me. And, one of the things that early in my career started to kind of show was how typically this medical thing can put medicine versus family. And I struggled with that a lot of what is most important to me. Do I want this awesome career success and neglect my family in the process, or do I want to put my family first and make my career fit around that? And so for me, success, at least at this point in my life, is being able to carve that out and make it look the way I want it to look. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm definitely working on it. And I think definitely that is what helps to motivate me, because my husband has aspirations for, like what he wants career wise. I have my aspirations. And then as a family, we are trying to get to a different place. And so that's what success looks like to me, that my kids understand, first off, what it is to, put in some work for something that is very important to you, that they know what it's like to have boundaries. Because mom and dad, we are working on stuff and we're doing stuff. And so I use that also as a measuring stick for them, that, you got to put in some work to do the things that you want to do. And you are the one who determines your success, not what other people say. And for me, that's been huge because, this social media age, you see all this stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Like, oh, wow, they're doing something. I struggled with that. Like, man, what am I doing wrong? But when you really dissect that a little bit, what you see is not always what you get. What people are posting is, they're posting all the good stuff, but you don't see all the behind the scenes stuff. Right. And so I definitely had to take a step back for that. Like, focus on you and what it is that you want to do, and getting to where you want to be. That's success to me.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's very good. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Because I've noticed that I've had to reevaluate. Like, I feel like that's where I am right now. I'm going through a process of reevaluating, like, wait a minute, why do you think this? Why do you think that you have to have all this money in order to be successful, or in order to be a good mother? Why do you think that you have to make it all look good and show up, a certain way all the time? Why do you think that you have to package it to be inspiring, when really people are just dying to hear somebody tell the truth so that they know that they're not by themselves.
Oh my goodness.
So, so it's just like, I've had to step back and be like, wait a minute, you think some things that just you shouldn't be thinking. So have you ever had that moment, and I guess I'll throw this at Amanda, where you had to step back and go, wait a minute, why do I think that I have to do all of this to meet my goal, or to check? Why do I feel like I have to check all these boxes? And then I'll also send that to Anitra, because the one you answered very well. So have you ever had to reevaluate what you felt was the life?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I love like where this conversation is going and what we're saying, because what it's coming down to is, are you defining your success by what others think of you? And what that means is, are you playing the comparison game? Are you comparing yourself to everyone else, and in that defining your success? And that is where you will fail. And that is, I mean, a tumor, if you will, of society, that we cannot play this comparison game, because you're right. Everything is not what you see. And so for me, I've definitely like had to shift my mindset on success and what this looks like. And if so, comparison is the thief of joy. And so if you are in comparison, you go into what I call scarcity mode. So you're trying to achieve all of these things because you feel scarcity. Instead, you need to be in an abundance mindset. And when you're in an abundance mindset, it's not what you have to do, it's what you get to do, and finding joy in that. And so your success needs to be defined by finding joy in what you do, not what you have to do, but what you get to do. So I think that would be my answer is what you're doing bringing you joy? Is it bringing joy to the people around you? And if not, then you need to reevaluate.
Absolutely. That's really good. Anitra?
So you guys said a couple of things, and I'm going to try to answer both your questions at the same time, Rhonda. So the one thing that I would say that I use as my measuring stick is John 10:10. So I actually had this conversation with my husband and my mother-in-law on different occasions, but we have, and like I said, COVID has totally shifted our mind about a whole lot of things. And John 10:10 says, the thief comes not but to steal, kill, and to destroy, but I have come that you might have life, and life to the fullest. And that is my measuring stick. I want to have life to the fullest, and whatever that means, so that I can achieve that. If I have to cut something because it's not allowing me to achieve that, then I'm cutting that thing. And so that's something that I really learned with quarantine, and holding on to what I felt like was my baby. Me having that school was a huge accomplishment for me. Me having that daycare, I miss the children so much. But literally, when I extracted that from my life, literally, I didn't realize that I was stressed until after I was out of it. Like how tired and exhausted I was. And honestly, while I did receive, some wonderful things from that, I have children who still come back and, have thanked us for their experience that they have had, and, ID and all those kinds of things. And those things are rewarding, but it didn't outweigh, And so, as moving on into life, the one thing that you guys said, which is true, we often think that finances, achieving a certain job level, obtaining a car, being debt free, maybe, obtaining a particular degree or certification or whatever that is that I'm there, I've arrived. And we're never going to find that I have arrived moment until we are at peace within ourselves, because all of those things, once we achieve it, then what are we doing? We're chasing after the next thing, because that's not where our fulfillment is. It's in here. And so looking at Instagram and Facebook and seeing all these people who are doing things that I want to do, I want to be an influencer. I want to do all these things. And even the vlogs that I see my kids watch, it's like, dang, they're doing these vlogs, they're doing one a day, but look where they are now. They started where we are now, where I'm walking around with my camera, recording my own things editing my own things. Now they got a whole team. So yeah, it looks easy, but they have people following them with cameras.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
and so the one thing that someone said that I will never forget is that comparison breeds discontentment.
Yeah.
And the more that we compare, the more discontent we will be within ourselves. And nothing will ever be enough. And that is the one thing that I would say between John 10:10 and that, those are the two things that I always remember. Because if I'm constantly comparing myself, then number one, there's something going on the inside.
Right.
So there's something that I have to deal with. Why do I feel like I have to look like this or be like this or achieve these things like this other person is achieving?
Yeah.
So I think that has been my measuring stick. And right now, if I never reach the status that I feel like I should financially, I am content. I am enjoying life. I am enjoying my children and my husband more than I have ever before in life. So I feel like if I'm waiting for I have arrived, I have arrived.
That's good.
I have arrived. Because if we never get, I mean, of course, I don't want to stay in this place, but if we don't, I'm fine with it where we are right now.
That's good.
So that's my spiel.
So I saw this quote because I wanna shift just a little bit because I thought it was important to talk about why we go after what we go after and why we feel we need to have what we need to have. And I think once we start to become whole a little bit and say, wait a minute, I don't have to do all that, or I don't have to show up this way. It gives us a lot of freedom to then really, because some things that we will actually get to achieve, they're not even on our radar. God is walking us into some stuff that we didn't even dream. It was like much bigger than we ever thought that what we would do. You know, he's like, because one of the things that he said to me is put your pen down. Like, yeah, do the work, show up every day, do what you got to do, but you write stories, but you don't write your story. I'm writing it. Like, leave some margin for me to be able to take you into a space that is bigger than anything that you could have ever dreamed for yourself. So we have that God margin of yielding to him and allowing him to kind of walk us through and write our story. But then we also have the responsibility and where we do have to plan and at least try to, walk by faith while allowing that margin for him to do what he needs to do. So planning is important. And I saw this quote and it was really, really great. It said, plan as though Jesus is coming back in 100 years, but live as though he is coming back tomorrow. So how do you guys find your rhythm within that thought? Planning as though it's going to be a while, but living as though it might not be. How do you balance that? Anybody?
It kind of makes me think of what I told somebody on an interview that I did with somebody here recently. And planning, that's me. So I got that, I'm a planner. So I could plan for 100 years. I got that down pat.
Yeah.
But live as if he's coming tomorrow. That has been something that I learned also during COVID, because I am not that natural risk taker. I like security and comfort, and I want to know what's going to happen next. While my husband is a risk taker. I mean, he has one idea today and another one tomorrow and maybe 5 tomorrow, so that is like so hard for me. But I have learned to like just let go. And I realized that was like control, and not necessarily control because I just have to have my hands in everything, but it was security for me. It was, okay, if I have my hands on this, I know that I got it, and I know what the outcome will be because my hands are all in it. But living like he's coming tomorrow is, to me, that's like jumping off a cliff. That's like, whatever, let's do it, and that's kind of like how my mindset is now. Like every time, for the most part, when my husband says something, I'll be like, okay, let's do it. You know? So that's kind of how I see it. As Jesus has come tomorrow, like, okay, what haven't I done? Let's do it.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's kind of how I see it.
That's great. Anybody else want to chime in with that, how they balance that thought?
I love that question, and it's as much of a challenge to me as it is something that I can answer. So, like Anitra, I am a planner. Like, I love to plan. When I was little, I told my parents I wanted to be a party giver, and maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have been like a wedding planner or something. But I love to plan. So, and in that, I think the living like he's going to come in 100 years. I set goals for myself. I have a vision. I have a vision board because you need to know where you're going before you can break down how you're going to get there. And then as far as living like he's coming tomorrow, that's a challenge, right? Because we know that, like, live like this is your last day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. What would you do if this was your last day? I would love to say that that is how I live my life every day. But honestly, it's probably not, because there are times that, you know, I'm frustrated with the kids. I'm impatient with the kids. And that's not what I want to do if this was my last day, right? So it's a good challenge to be like, like day to day, those things are important. That kind of reminds me that in this day to day, yes, that needs to be our mentality, that tomorrow is not guaranteed, but then also to give yourself grace. Because if you just think it's only what you do as a mom, regardless of all of these other things, you have so many spinning plates, right? You're the cook, you're the cleaner, you're the carpooler, you're the planner, the organizer, the shopper who buys the groceries, who buys the clothes. You have so many spinning plates at one time. And if you drop one of those plates, it's okay. It is okay. And if you give yourself grace, then you'll be more present in the moment and be able to live like it is your last day. So it's a good challenge.
That's really good.
Yeah. My little 2 cents is, you know, you already heard the recovering perfectionist. So I mean, the planning was like, what do you mean? This is not happening. No, I planned this out. and certainly, I think like a lot of people, especially for me being in medicine and, you know, with COVID and seeing, you know, the numbers rise and things like that, it kind of definitely brought that, you know, God could come back tomorrow, you know, he could come back in an hour. So enjoy the moments that you have, and, you know, like they said, give yourself grace. And I really had to adopt that a lot more. Number one, because I tell all of my patients that, like, literally, I tell all my patients, oh, you got to give yourself grace. You know, recovery takes time. And I'm like, are you ministering to yourself? Or so I really had to let go of that perfectionism, like things have to be just so, and like go with the flow. And Anitra, I mean, you already know my husband is like almost just like yours. It's oh, let's do this. You know, I come home, hey babe, pack your bags. We're going to the beach. Like, what? Oh, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. So I'm trying to, you know, bring those two things together. And really the biggest thing for me has been, you can make a plan and you got to walk towards that plan. But at the end of the day, God is ordering your steps. Absolutely. So if you're not walking, he can't order.
Right.
And so that's what I've been trying to do, is say, you know what, I'm going to try to do good every day. And, you know, whatever happens, whatever things, you know, shift and whatever direction I need to go, finding peace in that. And I think that's really what has really spoken to me lately. Just find peace in it.
That's good. I love all of your answers, but there was something that you said, Amanda, about the spinning plates, which is how I see my life and how I see so many other moms. lives. It's all the things, like all of the stuff. And so one of the things that I would be remiss not to ask is about support, because a lot of times we are trying to have our hands on everything, or it won't be done right unless I do it, and or this or that, or I have to make sure this, or everything has to be just so. So let's talk about whether or not we have built a support system. And if so, what is that support system? I was listening to one mom who has a business, a clothing business, and some other things going on. She's just got all the spinning plates, just like a lot of us do. And she's like, I had to determine that I can't cook. She's like, I can't do all of this and cook. So I had to hire somebody to come in and cook. And it's just like, for so many of us, that would be, oh no, I can't have somebody coming in doing that for my family or whatever. So you're like, I could. But like, what have you been intentional in building a support system and knowing like it's okay for me to release this part? If I'm going to get all of these things done, I need somebody to come in and clean up my house, or I need this or that. So let's talk about if you struggle with allowing people to support you, and if you don't, how have you brought that support system together? Amanda, you look like you want to answer. I could see it in your eyes.
Okay,
yes.
And I think that this looks very different for everyone. And I will tell you that I am in this space right now that I don't have a problem with people helping me. But that's hard. It's hard to get to that point, and I think it's hard for a lot of people to do, because you do feel like I'm the mom, I should do the cooking. And if I let someone else do the cooking, I'm failing. But you are not failing,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're having someone else doing the cooking, what are you doing during that time someone else is doing the cooking? Right?
Yeah.
You might, maybe for me, it's I'm out taking care of the animals when my husband's doing the cooking. But you're doing something else with your time, and you have to learn to delegate so that you can be a better version of yourself. So what support looks like for me is a couple of different things. So we do have a house cleaner that comes. Right now she comes once a month. And so that's very helpful for me. Probably need to up that. I need someone who comes every day, but I have a house cleaner who comes in the house, and that is really helpful
Right.
for me, because the time that they come and they clean the house is time that I get to sit with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cleaning the toilets, I'm spending time with the kids. And so that's important to me. The other thing is we do have a nanny that comes to the house. And so she comes when I'm at work. And so that allows me to be able to go out of the house and go to work, to be a physician assistant and to provide medical care to other people. But I do have somebody who is watching my kids during the day. And I think COVID has changed how this looks as well. But as far as like my family support system, during COVID especially, like my husband and I have really learned to rely more upon each other. And so he stepped into a lot of roles around the house, such as cooking, that he didn't necessarily do before. So we do order a meal service. So we have, where they deliver the food to your door, and it already comes with recipes and ingredients. So we can make that 3 times a week. That cuts down huge on a lot of time. And so those are some of the support systems that I've established throughout all of this routine. And I would definitely encourage people, if it's something that you can do, don't be afraid to do that. The other aspect of support is just like the community. You need to surround yourself with people who are positive, people who uplift you, people who encourage you, and people who hold you accountable. And that's something that in my side business, I mentor a group of about 15 ladies in that, and they are my support. Those are the people that I talk to every single day. And we encourage people, we encourage each other. We maintain a very positive environment. And so that's really important. So please, please surround yourself with people who are positive and support you and uplift you.
Yeah. What about you, Dewan?
Yeah, 100% agree. Support is so important. And there's a couple of things that I've done. So most of the time, we have pretty much been on this parenthood thing by ourselves. So we've had to employ lots of support, and certainly, between me and my husband being able to kind of work that out. But one of the things that I always say anytime I'm talking to, moms, women, is that everybody needs a tribe. And I firmly believe that everybody needs a tribe, and you need people that are going to give you that, mental, emotional support, that physical support, and that will look different for everybody. So I was in the camp that I didn't want to ask for help. Sometimes it was because I just didn't know what I even needed help with to be able to put that into words, right?
Mm-hmm.
My husband would be like, "Seem like you need something. What can I help you with?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Everything, yeah.
So being able to form the words to ask for help. I have somebody now that comes in and cleans actually 4 days a week, which has really been a blessing because it's nice to be able to come in from work and not like the first thing I see is like stuff everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. So that's been nice. But it was hard. And actually, my husband had to pull the trigger on that. We had talked to this lady and whatever, and then he was like, yeah, so she's starting next week. Like, what? You didn't run that past me. I didn't say okay. And then I was like, really? Just let it go. So, and I remember one, I don't even know who it was that said it or what the situation was, but somebody said, the things that don't bring you joy, outsource them. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because why are you stressing yourself out trying to clean if that's not if that's not bringing you joy? Like, some people enjoy cleaning and making things look a certain way, taking pride in that. That's cool. That's not my ministry. So I'm gonna let somebody else do that so that I have the time, and like the mental space, the mental bandwidth to do the other things that really mean the most to me. Spending time with my kids, listening to their day instead of trying to do all of these other different things. So outsource the stuff that does not bring you joy, and that doesn't always mean that it has to be paid, because I hear that too. People say, oh, that's not in my budget. But you know what? Like, there are ways. Most of us are very resourceful. There are ways to work some things out where you can outsource it without actually having like cash money to be able to make it work.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Before I piggyback on that, the one, Anitra, let's talk about your support system. I can't believe an hour is like gone by so fast.
But I'll be quick. So yeah, I feel like I feel like I have a really great support system. As many of you all know, we live in a shared household. So we got a house and flipped it with my parents in 2016. So we've been here since. So having my parents in the house is really good, really quick, like, hey, can the kids, come? But that it kind of becomes an everyday thing. And so not wanting to always ask them, like, I feel like I'm always asking my mom, like, hey, can you, hey, can you? But I have my in-loves, as I say, who are great support. And then I have some other people who are just great support with my kids. Now, I'm not in the position yet where I can afford a nanny, because I want one.
Me too.
But I utilize what I can with, the people that I have, so that it's like, hey, we need to do this. And most of the time that I need help, it's for us to do something with business. It's not always just for us. So I am trying to do that more with us, trying to fit those times in, but having a support system, like, I can't thank my parents, my in-loves, my closest family members who take time with the kids, and then someone who I call their nanny, but she works another job. I don't know if she's watching, but Stephana, she's like our for real nanny. She is that person, like, when we have to travel for business, she will take off of her job to come stay at the house with my kids. So in a sense, I do have one. I just wish I had her every day.
I need one of those.
She will almost drop everything every time we ask her. So I really appreciate my support system, and it's good. Learn to trust people. I know a lot of people, that's their issue, that's their hang up, not trusting or feeling like you're being a burden. I kind of feel I'm learning to feel this way. It's like if they say yes, then they're willing to do so.
Right.
And we can't worry about what are they thinking, all that kind of stuff. That just creates all these scenarios in our head when it's probably not even reality. So I say, if someone says, I can do it, yes, believe them, take it. Take that support, take that help. So
Yeah. So a couple of things that Dewan said and also that Anitra said, it was like specific to the things that I had written down, because, a lot of times people can look at you and be like, oh, well, you're a doctor, or you've got your parents right there, or you're this, or you can afford to pay somebody to do this or that to support you. But I'm not in that situation. And so again, we start to compare what somebody else's support looks like versus what our support can look like. But sometimes just asking a friend and trusting your tribe, because I remember a time where I was single mother, doing everything on my own, making okay money, but not great. And I remember I had done everything, and then Christmas came around, and my daughter's birthday is a couple of days before Christmas. So I'd taken care of Christmas, but her birthday, there was just nothing left. And I didn't want to ask my parents and this and this and this. So I mentioned it to my friends, and, not even for help, but just I mentioned it. And my friend said, come over on this particular day, bring Gabby with you, and just come on, we got you. So I get there. Only thing that I could afford to do for her that year for her birthday was buy her a cake. And I had the cake. They cooked all this food, and everybody had presents for her. And she was just opening presents left and right. And that just, it was years ago, and I'm even getting emotional now just thinking about how important being a tribe to somebody else, and then trusting that your tribe also has you, and that they will step in for you when you need it. When money is something that you can't offer, there are still people that God places in our lives for the seasons that He knows that we have to walk through in order to bless us and to just really take the load off of us. And so I'm so thankful for my tribe, and the tribe changes, it changes just depending on the season. But I'm thankful when I get to be that for somebody. But I haven't always been the person that could receive it as easily. But that broke what they did for her birthday. It broke something in me, like, yeah, it's okay to let God allow other people to be good to you. So, so I just really appreciate everything that everyone said. And it's been an hour. So Anitra, is it okay if I throw out one last question? It's kind of more of a fun question.
Yeah,
okay. So again, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Twin Doctor, and Anitra, for allowing me to kind of pick your brain a little bit, because I've learned a lot, as well as ask questions. So it's been great. So we live in a techie society, right? And so along with our parents that may be helping us, or our friends or whatever, there are apps and different things that can help simplify being MomGul's, right? So what are some of your MomGul must-haves? Like, I heard of this thing called Wonderlist that I'm so interested in, that helps you plan your day and things like that. So do you have any like MomGul must-have tips to share with the ladies to help them to streamline some of the things that they do as moms and entrepreneurs? No?
I'm kind of, when it comes to apps, no.
It doesn't have to be an app, but just like must-haves to make it easier for, I didn't realize we didn't have techie group here, but and that's okay. But like,
I don't think I have anything to support. Yeah.
Really? Because I have, like, I used to use this. It wasn't even an app at the time. It was called Fly Lady, where she really simplified cleaning your how to. Like, if you can't hire anybody, this is the way that you can have your house spick and span and still do all the other things. And the system was amazing and it really worked. And I really was like, wait a minute, my house is the bomb and I still have time to sleep, you know. So it was something that helped me to shrink, and it was a book. It was a book. So any tips on streamlining for people who may be struggling?
I think I'm like pulling out my phone to look at my apps. So, okay, what apps do I use? And I think it depends. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this because there are kind of apps for everything from a business perspective, like for my side business. Some apps that I love. One is Business Suite. Business Suite is a place where I can manage like all my accounts in one place. So I can see like my comments on Instagram. I can see my comments on Facebook. And so that's helpful for me. I know I like for graphics and things, of course, there's things like Canva to make stories. If you wanted to like make a story to talk to people, there's something called Cut Story. So that will cut your stories into the right amounts so that you could just upload one video and then it will post that without having to press the button every time. Threads is a new app that I'm using, and that one will put actually captions on your stories. So those are kind of some techie things that I like. And I also use Voxer. I don't know if you've heard of Voxer. Voxer is like a walkie-talkie app. That's a good way for me to communicate easily with a lot of different people on my team. So those are kind of the top ones that come to mind.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, you got some stuff that I didn't know about.
I know.
I wrote a couple down. Although Canva is like my go-to.
I love Canva.
I'm a graphic designer right now. I just am my own graphic designer with Canva. It's so many different things you can do with Canva. So when I use Business Suite as well. So when you said apps, I was thinking like apps as a mom, and I was thinking like I am the app.
Yeah, right.
You know, like that's the first thing I thought. Like, there's no app because I am a planner and I'm an organizer. I can probably tell you a lot of ways to plan out, you know, organizing things in the house and keeping things straight. Like the one thing that I do now because I don't like clutter and mess. So whether it's the kitchen, like I have this thing, I don't like dirty dishes sitting in the sink. I will wash one dish so that nothing is sitting in the sink. Like I'm that girl. And so even at night, because I have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and an 8-year-old, it's like everything is always dirty. It's always something on the floor. It's always something that they left. And so now we started this thing. Jace normally takes a shower at 8:30 before he gets in the bed at 9. And so normally at that time is when me and the girls, and I make the girls do it too, because I want them to get in good habits, and Jace does too. But I'm teaching them to like, you know, clean up after yourselves. Their toys are organized with words on them and categories. So they know like this goes in this box, this goes in this box. So that's kind of like how we clean up. And so it makes cleanup easier for them. And now even the baby, she'll even say like, no, it doesn't go there. She knows like, oh, that's not the right one because this is for my baby dolls or this is for the baby's clothes, you know. And then having this, we do a 10-minute pickup every night. Guys, it saves the day. I promise you. Doing that every night has been great for us organizationally because I don't like to go to bed and wake up in the morning and my house is in a disarray. I just can't do it. So now that's kind of like our thing. So like as far as the house is concerned, I feel like I am my own app.
Okay. That's all right.
You know, just doing things and creating routines. That's kind of like what I do. And I do look at Pinterest and other things and I may get inspiration and ideas. So I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying that I don't really use things to support that. But as far as the business, there's a lot of different apps that I use. Amanda mentioned a few. I wrote down a few that she named that I didn't know about. So yeah, that's what I would say. But like Ashley said, she said her main go-to apps are DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Yes. I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
And
so
Katana
even,
said
that
YouTube, which is true.
yeah, YouTube, that is really true though, because YouTube is
Everything.
it's a really good help. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And then I am that person that use store apps too. So if I go to Meijer, Walmart, Target, I can probably tell you where everything is. I shop based on the aisle, so that's how I like write my list out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you need to do a blog on that and
I
help
was
me because
gonna
that is
say
not my
now,
thing,
even for
honey.
my planning, I don't do that much. First, I don't go to the store. I use the apps. That's my thing. I'm like, I'm a shopper, but most of the time I'm not shopping with these little people. So I'm on the app getting whatever I need. Either I'm picking it up or it's being delivered.
Yeah, that was amazing during COVID. And also I hurt my back one time and I was like, click list or, having Kroger deliver my stuff, we got to really utilize the things that are available to us to keep us in that space where we can do all of the things that we've been called to do, plus be whole women, which I didn't even get a chance to ask as many questions about as I would have liked to, but I still think that this was an amazing conversation. So before I throw it back to Anitra, I just want to thank everyone for joining. Also thank DeJuan, the twin doctor, and also Amanda Novak for coming and chatting with us this morning. Thank you, Anitra, for the opportunity to be able to moderate and to ask questions and pick your brains a little bit. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope we get to do it again. And for those of you who may be joining because you're following Amanda or following DeJuan, if you have not, please go to Facebook and get on The Laurel Life to follow the Laurel Life's blog. She has a website. She has all kinds of things going on. So many different great things are going to be coming up. Because the way she was talking about how she organizes and keeps her house clean, I need those tips. You might need them. So make sure that you follow the blog so that you can get the help that you need. All right. So thank you again, Anitra, and I will pass it back over to you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate Rhonda for, handling this whole conversation. She's amazing with that. And so I was like, I have to use Rhonda to do this because I know she'll keep this conversation going. It was a great conversation. I love it. And I want to thank Amanda and DeJuan for coming on today. But I have to tell you guys really quick before we got on how I know these ladies, because we didn't do that in the beginning. So Amanda, I went to school with. So I have known Amanda since middle school. Yeah. I went to Cincinnati Hills starting in 5th grade. So we have known each other since middle school. And, of course, Facebook brings everybody back together. And so seeing all the different things that she was doing, seeing that she has children and she has a husband and she works full time and she has her side business, which we didn't get to talk about. So please go follow Amanda so that you can get to know what she does.
We got to chat again.
I know.
She does. Yeah, we have to do this again. But she sells some beauty products, and I have purchased some. So please go follow her. And we didn't even get to talk about guys. What's the proper term for the bees? I mean, it's amazing. You have to see her in her whole get up. What is that called?
What is the suit called?
No, what you do with the bees? What is that?
Yeah, so it's really just beekeeping, and the place where you keep your hives is called your apiary. So my honey I sell from Novak apiaries.
And guys, she even bottles wine and stuff. Like, how in the world?
Wait, and maple syrup?
Yeah.
Yeah, and syrup. She posted
That's
a picture
crazy.
the other day, her daughter, and they're tapping the tree, and maple syrup is coming out. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. So everybody's name. I was just going to let people know that everybody's name is their actual Twitter handle. So if you're interested in
Instagram.
Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I have an account, but I don't know, years I know. So everybody's Instagram handle, so you can follow, because I definitely want some honey. I'm a honey girl, so I definitely want to do that. But that is the way that you can follow each of these ladies to kind of, see their journey. Sorry, go ahead.
So please go follow Amanda, and then my dear friend DeJuan. How long have you been married, DeJuan?
15 years.
So she's been married 15 years. So I've gained a friend for 15 years because I was friends with her husband Now he has the boot and she's my friend. Now I'm just joking. But she is my friend. I miss her. They moved because of work and all that kind of stuff. But she was like, that was my only friend where we actually started our little mom dates and we would hang out. And so I miss her being here with me. But we pumped together. We've been pregnant and had babies and, all this kind of crazy stuff. So please go follow Dewan. She's a doctor, but she has twins. She also has 2 other children. But please follow her. She talks to moms and gives great advice and tips and things like that. So make sure that you're following what she's doing as well on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, every time I get on live, I always like to support other people. I'm a supporter. Of course, I want people to support me, but I want to make sure that I'm doing that also. So my earrings today are from Katana Gibson of P31 Jewels. She is online today. So please check her out, P31 Jewels. These are her earrings. And then my friend Kristen, who isn't a mom, so she may not be on here, I'm not sure, but Kristen Elsie, I went to school with her as well. Her last name is Deemer now. But this is her sweatshirt. She has a brand called Enliven. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But this one says, if you know, you know. And there's different interpretations of this, because it's kind of like, when you see, if you know, it's kind of like an inside joke, but it's also something that talks about commonality. And so I wore this today because we all have something in common today. We are moms. And you know. So please make sure you go support her too. It's Enliven on Instagram and on Facebook, and then P31 Jewels on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, I have on her ring today too, P31 Jewels. Please go check her out.
Yeah, so she's one of my favorite bling ladies.
Yes. So I like to support. So I had so much fun. I can't believe we have to end. This has been great. We have to do a part 2 with us. But if anybody else wants to come on and talk about being a mom, talk about any specific topic, I would love to do this like once a month. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining.
I said that would be fun. And I'm going to give my own shameless plug before we go.
Sure.
So if you're not following me on Instagram, this would be a great time to do it. Next week, I'm going to be dropping some hints about some things that are coming really, really soon, like in a week or less. So make sure that you follow me so that you can be the first to know what's coming next.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I have a quick one, not about my stuff, but about a friend of mine made the shirt. She is jeweled by Janae. Janae is Jenea, and she made my shirt today, and it says, "Oh honey, I am that mom." And I just love that. And she has all kinds of, she's a mompreneur as well, and she has all kinds of amazing things, cute gifts, not just clothes, but all kinds of stuff. So check her out. She's on Facebook, Jeweled by Janae.
I need that shirt.
So that was my
We all need that shirt.
So I'll put it in the comments.
Okay. Amanda, did you have anyone
else
you wanted to say?
I do just love this. I love that abundance mindset because it is so great to support each other. And you heard us all today talk about how we have busy lives and goals and aspirations and how we measure our success. And it's it's awesome if we can support each other in that. So I don't have any particular plugs to make, but if you follow me, I do try to really post and support about things that I buy that I like, and to be able to share them with other people. I am being a host for my friend who is also a physician assistant, and she sells essential oils. So if you want to join that class, that's going to be coming up this weekend. So yeah, I just love that and being able to share. And I went to school with Kristen too, so I have to.
Yes. Thank you for she we got the name Jewel by Janae is where Rhonda got her shirt. And again, mine is from Enliven, Enliven. And her name is Kristen Deemer. This is her her brand, her line. So I just want to thank everyone so much for joining us today. I'm so excited. I don't want it to end, but I know Juan has something to do. My husband has an appointment, so I'm staying home with the kiddos while he runs out. But thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you are following all of our pages. I have some things coming up on the Laurel Life. I'm trying to get our Progression of Intimacy page built back up, which Dewan does some. Her and her husband have marriage fireworks as well. So we both do things with marriage and relationships. So just make sure you're following us so you're not missing out on any of the good things that any of these ladies are doing. Pay attention to Rhonda Peck. She has hers up there as well. She writes for other blogs and things like that. She edits my blog. She does all these different things. So follow. Thank you guys so much. We hope that you enjoyed today and that you have a great rest of your Saturday. It's beautiful. The temperatures are climbing. So enjoy. And thank you once again for tuning in. We appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.